It snowed, 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 it snowed. It'll be like, I don't fuck with the snow, I'm good, I wanna stay warm and dry and all cozy. She in loaf mode, she in loaf mode. Since it's so cold outside, I am going to be making pho because I didn't grow up eating a lot of pho actually. It's tough because I try to eat pescatarian and a lot of Viet food has red meat in it, but I'm easing my way into cooking the original dishes and figuring out how to best substitute it with plant-based options from there. I can cook red meat, but it scares me. Red meat scares me. At the Asian market, I found a pho broth packet, which does not compare to getting the meat and bones and then washing it and then making the broth yourself. But I'm a college student, I don't have time to make broth. So let's get started. My mom, at the age of 28, was the first to immigrate to America in her family as the middle child of 3 daughters and a single mom. For most Viet kids, pho is a dish that they ate way too much of growing up. But for me, it was a luxury almost, because my mom never cooked traditional Vietnamese food at home. Since I never lived in a city with a large Asian community, the only times we would eat Vietnamese food was when we had to travel all the way to Atlanta to do our monthly Viet grocery shopping, and there were an abundance of Asian restaurants nearby. I really hope this tastes good. I also really love basil, so I always put a fuck ton of basil. Whee! My mom never cooked Viet food because she was convinced she could never do it as well as she had it back in Vietnam. Reasons she would give, like we don't have the right ingredients where we live, or it's too much of a hassle, or it's simply not as good as the way your grandma would cook it. They were all reasons that had the same core or heart at the end. And it's a longing for home. Now that I'm older, I hope that every time I cook Vietnamese food, I'm reminded of my loved ones, and that maybe I could cook some for my mom one day, and she'll be reminded of hers. Hello everyone, good morning. It's March now. It's been a hot minute and I'm going to be visiting my university campus for my weekly COVID test. And I've kind of made a part of my weekly routine to make it over to Georgetown, walk through the campus, get tested, and then go back home. So I'll be showing you guys kind of what my campus looks like today, I guess. This is Georgetown University, where I go to school, but not really. I've never really lived on campus. I literally only have been inside one building at Georgetown. It feels quite odd to say that I've attended university for a year now. If someone were to stop me while I'm walking around on campus and ask me, hey, how do you get to this one building? Or what's the best thing to get at Leo's? Or do you enjoy being a student here at Georgetown University? I don't think I would be able to give an answer, regardless of like an honest one. I feel like as someone who has so much of their life on the internet, it's really easy to romanticize college and university life through these little tidbits that you're being shown right here. But in reality, I've struggled a lot at university, and yes, it is a pandemic, and yes, a lot of students are experiencing this. Alongside those hardships, I've also grappled and struggled with the question, do I belong here? It's this form of imposter syndrome where I am aware that I worked hard and that even though I'm a minority and a marginalized individual in a predominantly white institution, I know that I belong here. And at the same time, especially during the pandemic, especially during the rise in violent acts against the AAPI community, I can't help but feel like I've abandoned my family, that I've abandoned my community. At the beginning of the semester, and especially during the fall, I thought about transferring back to my home state university, both for cost and being closer to home. I've also thought about taking a gap semester. That being said, I've also been able to meet the coolest people at Georgetown that I love so much. I've been able to learn about so much cool shit and so many new perspectives. I just want you to know that it's okay if your college experience doesn't look orthodox like everyone else's, because mine certainly isn't, and I felt insecure about that for a while. Hello, look at this beautiful structure that you probably recognize, and that is on Catholicism. Love getting that juicy Jesuit education. This is me and my homie. He's the founder, I think. I don't know, I just know he's a white man, so. I'm really excited to find and make my place at university, and I hope to help other people like me to find that place as well. See you in the fall, Georgetown. Okay, y'all, happy Easter. I'm not religious, but if there's one thing that makes me holy, and one thing that makes me get on my knees, carbs. I went to the farmer's market with Lincoln this morning, and it was so good. It's literally a block, 2 blocks, less than that, away from my apartment, and I've never been. And for one reason, I feel like I've been wronged. How have I never been before? Very grateful to have a lot of locally sourced and fresh food every Sunday. So here is a little farmer's market haul. I got this bag of greens. Look at her, look at her. This is rosemary Italian bread. It smells so good. They had a lot of vegetables, but I did not have enough bags, so I just got some onions and this little quart of apple cider because my friend said it was good. And then I got pastries. Initially, I was only gonna get the puff pastries at the beginning of the line, but then when I was going to check out, I saw the tarts they had, and they are so beautiful. They are so beautiful. I could not resist, so I got both of them and spent way too much money on carbs, on sweets. So yeah, that's a very good start to the morn. So I'm gonna go visit the National Mall later today and go look at the cherry blossoms because they're in full bloom right now. Take some photos for my mom so she knows that I'm alive. that is it for some bits and baubles of what's been happening, what's been going on for the past couple of months in my life, and catch up with me in the comments. Y'all tell me what you guys have been loving, what's been going on, what are your excitements, and thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Yeah, bye!